Okay. Big time guest.
Recurring guest.
We are recurring guests. We are on Grit Week. We're sponsored by Body Armor. Go drink Body Armor. Been drinking Body Armor all week. It is NFC champion, second most attractive coach in the NFC West. Now that Cliff Kingsbury has been hired, we can get to that in a minute.
Forgetting about Pete Carroll?
Oh, Pete Carroll, yeah, very
good looking man.
Yes.
He's like 70.
But it is Coach Sean McVay, and we have to start because it's Grit Week. You have to explain to us what grit means to you.
The standard is the standard.
The standard is the standard. The standard. So grit is grit.
That's grit.
Grit's grit.
Grit is grit. That's it.
Just keep it simple.
Deep.
You just know.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Grit is grit. All right.
Right off the bat, I want to talk to you about hiring Blake Bortles. I'm acting like you're the hiring manager, and he's a highly prized recruit. But you were hot on his trail. He only interviewed with you guys. He only took one visit.
Yep.
What was it about Blake when you looked in his eye that you were like, this guy, this is my guy?
Just so you know,
Same
he's good
reason
friends.
that you feel the way you do asking that question. No, in all seriousness, though, he and Jared have a great relationship. And anytime that you can get a guy like Blake where when you meet him, and I had never met him before, he's one of those guys, he's got a great demeanor where you're like, this guy feels like a quarterback, a leader. Then you hear him a couple days out here, just the way he commands a huddle. You can see why his teammates believe in him. And I don't think you're going to find many guys with the kind of production and experience in big-time games that, God forbid if something were to happen to our guy, has been in those types of games, in those atmospheres where he's not going to flinch. And we're excited to get him here and get working with him.
Are you worried that he's smarter than you? He's a genius. I don't know if you knew that.
You know what? If he is, then I love it. Anytime that you're around people smarter than you, these are always good things.
That's a good answer.
Yes.
How many Wikipedia entries have you read in the last year? Because he's read at least 4.
We have a Wikipedia club
confirmed.
Anybody can edit that though, right?
Yeah,
But
true.
that's what makes it so great. You get all the world's knowledge.
Yeah.
Like, who's to say?
That is a good perspective. I can appreciate
Yeah.
that. Okay, I
It's
got
the-
you.
You can
Children
learn
of the
something
world.
from everybody.
So wait,
Yes.
so how many entries has he read?
At least 4 in the last calendar
6 or
year.
7 maybe.
Yeah, confirmed.
Around
What's the
that?
last Wikipedia entry you read?
Probably the one with.
Probably yours.
Actually, yours, yeah,
yours.
before this
yeah,
interview.
I don't even remember what was on it.
Yeah.
So, all right, we got to talk about some stuff that's very important.
Okay.
The Super Bowl obviously didn't go your way because you didn't give us tickets.
I know, and deservedly so. You've had some choice words for me on that. Which
that was a blatant. You said it to our face. Homecoming in Georgia.
I'm talking about the criticism of my coaching in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I might have said some things.
Yeah, he might have
I
said
deserve it.
Well,
I can appreciate
wait,
the
hold
honesty.
on, but you have to understand. Like, my job is to say that I can do your job better than you.
That is a good point.
So I'm just doing my
You're
job.
doing a great job.
Very well.
I love it.
What we actually said is that you had that quote a couple weeks ago where you said that if you had to do it again, you would watch less film because you might have overdone it. And I said that Belichick is such a good coach that's actually an advantage for him to coach against a good coach because he can put yourself in your head. Whereas if he was coaching against an idiot, then he'd be like, I don't know what the hell to do with this guy. I can't predict an insane person's tendencies. So you should have just hired some moron to draw up the game plan for the Super Bowl.
Us.
Totally fooled. Yeah, us.
I really feel worthless right now. I mean, that is.
It's a high compliment.
I just finally got a good night's sleep, and now I'm going to be waking up just about this again. No, in all seriousness, though, when you look at those couple weeks, there's an element of when you work, you want to work hard, but you also want to work smart, and you can have so many different things and not being mindful of the progression of the season. I mean, you think about there's usually about a 4 to 6 game span that you're usually operating on while still being mindful of situations, and then you got 2 weeks, and you don't want to short yourself. And I'd be lying if I said, if things go a little off track, you probably have too many thoughts in your head, and you would have a different rhythm. I don't necessarily know if you're working any less hard for the preparation, but Coach Belichick and the Patriots are, they're the standard.
They
right
are
now.
the standard. So perspective wise, obviously, everyone's just leaving right now. Everyone's leaving practice. So perspective wise, obviously, you never want to lose a Super Bowl.
Right.
But was there a moment where you're like, I'm 33 and I just went to the Super Bowl, like in my second year as a head coach, with Jeff Fisher's team?
I don't think you ever really go that direction on it. I think what you do want to make sure is that when it ends like that, you don't take away from all the things that the team accomplished.
Right.
Because a lot of times you hear about how demoralizing it can be. It's the last game. There's so much said about it. And those things are real. But I think we can choose how we respond and not being, you want to appreciate the entirety of to get to that point while never being satisfied you don't win it.
Right.
But I think the way that you handle it can be something that can be a positive response as opposed to letting it be demoralizing.
Right.
Like it can be if you allow it to be.
Did you do anything to just get your mind off it?
Yeah, a lot of drinking.
Yeah. Ice cream. That's Sean Payton's move. Ice cream and
then game
you
planning
put
the
him in
next
an
game.
ice cream spiral. We
What?
saw him at the combine. He's
I
like,
didn't know that.
I watched Netflix and ate ice cream for like 3 weeks.
Really?
Yeah, after the NFC Championship game.
'Cause you have to do a lot of CrossFit to make up for all
Yeah,
that.
There
Too.
you go.
Yeah, so you did that to him.
I didn't know that.
A
Yeah.
lot of drinking.
Do you feel bad at all about the Saints game?
That's actually brilliant.
No, I don't feel bad.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not. I feel bad that call became such a big part of the conversation
Right.
leading up to the game. I don't think anybody's going to argue that call did work in our favor, but
Yep.
there was a lot of plays that took place after that you just never know.
Agreed.
That call certainly didn't hurt us.
It did kind of
but-
suck because, like, Jared, I thought played a great game, and he came back after having a tough start. You coached a very good game, and it's like the narrative is just that call.
That you know what? That's a great point. That was something that even Jason Garrett pointed out when we had the owners' meetings in Arizona, is that what we want to avoid, which is why you want to get that rule change, is that when you've got a great competitive back and forth game that goes into overtime, that was a big part of the game, and unfortunately, it was something that it didn't work out for the Saints in their favor, and it did for us. But that became the narrative,
Right.
As opposed to talking about a lot of good stuff that took place from both teams in that game.
Right.
What's crazy is in no small part due to that play, they're kind of changing some of the rules, adding in some replay elements to pass interference. It seems like it's going to be called a lot more this season than it was in the past. Are you going to coach offense any differently knowing that there's a greater chance of pass interference?
Yeah, I mean, I think what you have to do is be mindful, and they've got some meetings coming up where there's been discussion about maybe rewording it and getting some, tweaks to it. But that definitely is going to play into just the factor of, all right, when do you want to actually utilize that challenge, knowing that you can use them at the end of the game, but you have to have your timeouts available. So I think there is a strategic advantage, or really, a strategic approach, I should say, that we would take when you would actually put a flag on the field, knowing that you have two and then you get a third if you get them both right. So you got to be smart about those plays and then having that at the end of the game in mind as well.
Yeah. You said that Bill Belichick texted you after every game this year. Are you gonna let him do that again? He
Not
played
every
you, man.
game. It wasn't
He played
every-
you.
Yeah.
He played
you know what? Hey, he did a great job. He, I got a chance to meet him a year ago, and he's been really good to me. It was more a couple games,
Right.
And then you say something, and kind of gets
It gets a
blown out of
narrative.
pro-
That's
yeah.
our fault again.
Well,
That's
thank
every-
you for that.
yeah, we're
You've
media.
caused me a lot of stress lately.
Listen, I'll own up to when we love a good narrative.
Well, here's
So-
the thing.
Hey, I can't fault you for that.
Yeah, right.
If you just talk directly to us, then we're not able to take any of your words out
Right.
of context.
Right.
So really, every coach that's mad at us should just come on the pod.
Right, and do the press conferences to our face.
Directly in my face.
Yeah.
Well, hey,
It's
you
works
know
for
what?
you.
That's to be. That's taken. I'm going to take that into account.
So Sean, you had a great offseason of all your offensive coaches getting hired away, and I was wondering if you could walk us through, because I still don't think I know the difference between Zach Taylor and Matt LaFleur. Can you just give me back of the napkin? How can I tell which one's which if I'm looking at one of them?
Well, you talking physically, or are you talking about
Whatever.
just their
Yeah.
traits?
One's
So-
got a birthmark. I don't
Just
know.
give me something to go on.
I don't know about it.
One's gonna be wearing Bengals gear. One's gonna be wearing Packers gear.
That's the best way I can separate those guys. Coach LaFleur, he's going to get a nice tight haircut. He's going to look like a military guy, when he gets that thing, nice tight fade. Okay. I'd be interested to see if now that he's the Packers coach, if he still really cuts his own hair, which he used to do.
Interesting.
So he's always been efficient, and his wife Bree has helped him out with that too. But it's always looked nice and crisp, sharp. It's going to be a tight haircut. That's what I know. So Bears game Thursday night, he's going to be looking sharp, ready to lead
Very
the
sharp,
way.
cuts his own hair.
And then Zach, taller, got a great demeanor about himself. No, they're both great coaches, man. And I think they've been really instrumental in what we've done over the last couple years. Matt's a guy that I've known for a little bit longer. He's one of my closest friends, so I can't, do anything but wish him the best unless we're playing him.
Yeah.
And then Zach's a guy that I had heard about, big time player at Nebraska, Big 12 player of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of similar to Blake. They're different. They have different personalities, but you feel a presence about them when you talk to them. Zach's the same way. I think he'll do a great job leading with those guys in Cincinnati.
Was it weird, like having all the, the joke, like, hey, if you had a cup of coffee with Sean McVay, you got a head coaching job? Is that weird?
Yeah, I mean but it's you gotta laugh at it. It's flattering, but
right.
I mean, but you're not
puts
naive.
Pressure on you too a little bit.
I think really it's a reflection of this.
Mm-hmm.
It's a reflection of the Rams and what we've been able to do. It is flattering, but I mean, I think you got to take it in jest because that's what it is.
Yeah.
Just like anything else, this is a production-based business, and you jokingly say it, but hey, there's a lot of things. You get humbled in that last game, and there's a lot of motivation and reasons why you want to make sure that you learn from your mistakes and do better for our guys as we move forward.
So how do you go about finding the next guys that are going to step into those assistant roles that will then, in turn, become head coaches?
I think really is you ask around with people that you respect. When you do some of the interview processes, what are the things you're looking for? Are there similarities? Because you're always looking for comps. I mean, it's like when you evaluate players, the easiest way is, okay, who does this guy remind you of, even though everybody has their own intricacies. And we were able to get a guy on our staff in Zach Robinson who he has some, traits that remind you of both Matt and Zach Taylor, and I think this guy's going to be a star.
He's a blogger, though, isn't he?
I don't know, is he?
Oklahoma State,
Focus?
right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He was. Well, that's what he did, and it was really, you talk about a job where he's helped train guys for the combine.
Yeah.
Played the position, so I think there's a level of respect that comes with his ability to connect with Jared, having been in his shoes right away. And then, with what he was doing, he studied as much film as anybody. When you ask, he was putting in every coverage for all the pass plays in the league every single week,
Right.
and he did a great job for them.
So I joked at the start about Cliff Kingsbury, but it's got to be a little like he is the hot new guy on town.
You know what? He is.
You're
the
friends
hot
with
new
him,
guy.
but he's the hot new stuff.
Last time I checked, I'm still not. I didn't cool off too bad.
Yeah,
did
I know, but I'm
here's the
talking
thing.
about attractiveness. I'm not even talking about football coaching. Like everyone's like Cliff Kingsbury, he's so hot.
You know what? I agree. He is a good-looking guy, and he's.
You pranked him pretty good recently, right?
I was pretty proud of that.
Yeah.
one.
So
I got
explain
him
it
good.
tell the story because it's a hilarious prank by you.
I can't believe that I actually told this one. We went to dinner. We were over at Catch. He came in town with some friends, and he obviously has a relationship with Mahomes, and depending upon how you look at it, if you don't fully know the tampering rules, you can get somebody pretty good. And
Right.
I have a good enough relationship with Cliff to make the joke and know that you can immediately say you're kidding. But I basically told him that the fact that we were at dinner with Mahomes faked like I got a text from Mr. Goodell from our mutual friend, and I showed him and I said, he'd never text me, and when it honestly was too good because I felt so bad. His face went from, because he even had a friend that had checked and done her due diligence.
Right,
And
right.
I still made him convinced. No.
That he was gonna lose
you
his
didn't
first
really
pick?
do your due diligence.
Yeah,
I said,
yeah.
you better call Steve Kine right away, man.
You're in trouble, man.
He was looking at me. I could
That's
feel
awesome.
the emotion when he actually read it. And, I mean, the handsome tan guy went pale real
Yes,
quick.
I love it. I love it.
So
You got your swagger back.
You know what I've
I feel
noticed
like that
about
was
you?
the moment.
You're
It
a psychological.
happens, you know?
You're really into psychological warfare.
No.
Yes,
I'm
you
not.
are. Yeah. See, right now you're trying to
Yeah,
to
good play.
psychological warfare me.
That's
And
nice.
you can't penetrate
But
this
you
brain.
knew I couldn't see your eyes with those glasses on, so
Yeah.
I
Right.
couldn't really
That's
get
true.
what I wanted
Exactly.
done.
That's true.
Exactly. But you are like you do these little things like when you were saying earlier, Matt LaFleur, great guy, very efficient, cuts his own hair, looks great. Like he's gonna hear that and he's gonna be like, God damn it,
Oh,
Sean.
I just got to stop cutting
That's
my
my
hair.
guy, though. I love it.
Yeah.
you
I'll be,
Belichick
you
him.
got to get him on, though,
I know, we
and
want
ask
to.
him,
We will.
is he still doing that?
Well,
You
the-
know?
the first time that I met him, you sent me over there as a pawn of your own psychological warfare. Do you remember that at the combine?
I don't
You were
know
like-
what the heck you're talking
you were like,
about.
You're like Matt. You're like Matt. Go tell him that
Yeah, and
you
what
really
did you
like him
do?
as a head coach.
What did you do?
I did it like a fucking idiot.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I
Oh, that
did.
is not true.
I did.
Did he tell you what he did?
I did. I went
Oh.
over. Here's what I did. I went over and I said that to him. I said, "You're a great coach, man. Really like your play calling, with the exception of the fourth quarter against the Colts."
Okay.
And he looks at me and he looks like so upset and hurt. And I just go, "Sean told me to do it." And I just called you out
I don't
because
blame you for
because
that.
I realized I was being used as a pawn.
Yeah.
In your little
Smart.
chess match
You're
of
smart.
all 32 NFL coaches.
Chess match. That's one of my close friends.
Yeah.
It was.
This guy's being dudes.
Yeah.
But you know what I could appreciate? You had an empathy when you realized, man, he might have taken me seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it was a good little laugh that you didn't really follow through, but I'm glad that you told him that.
Yeah.
that
I
it
had
was
to be.
coming
I
from
had
me.
to remain objective because I can't be influenced by the people that we're close to. So I
It
had
was
to
a
be-
smart. It was a smart play. Something that I probably would have done exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
So I can't fault you.
Okay. So everyone talks about your memory. You got a great memory.
I really don't.
You
though.
somehow
Like,
didn't remember
no.
that you owed us Super Bowl tickets. Whatever.
never
you
said
can
that.
remember every play.
I did.
Was there any
people
moment
say?
like during Super Bowl week where you like, do I have to actually give these guys some tickets?
You know, if you guys had really followed up and guilted me enough, I would have done it.
We didn't want to go
We
to the
left
game.
in
Yeah,
August, yeah.
we
We were
left.
back in New York.
We just wanted to make you feel bad for a minute.
Well, you did.
Yeah, we did.
You
All right.
did,
So your
Mission
memory.
accomplished.
It obviously went viral. You had the memory, of every game, every play, whatever. I have one for you. I'm gonna throw it out there.
Nice.
All right. Week 8
Okay.
last year.
All right.
1 minute and 5 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
All right. We're going week 8. Let me even think about which game that. Okay. New
Okay,
Orleans,
third. Nope.
no.
Nope. No.
Green Bay. I got
Yep.
you.
3rd and 10 at the Green Bay 21. What's the play you call and what happens?
How much is left?
105.
3rd and 10.
Yeah.
Oh, that was bunch left. Toss 19 truck to Gurley.
And what happened?
Got the first down.
And what happened?
what happened
He
after
went
that?
down.
He did.
Did you tell him to do that? Because
No.
I lost a lot of money on him going down.
Hey, listen, that was smart situational play right there.
God damn it.
Hey,
Did
you know
you
what?
tell him
I
to do
can only
that?
imagine. You know what? Todd is a smart player. He thinks
He
on
is
his
a
own
smart
right
player,
there.
but listen,
But I'm telling you what was the final score of that game?
it was
The under.
29-27.
The final
Did we
score of the
ever
game
give-
was the under.
Did
right?
we ever give the ball back to the quarterback that gives you nightmares if he's got it?
Listen,
No,
I'll
we
let
didn't.
you off
Give me
the
some
hook.
right
Yeah,
there,
listen,
man.
no, I'm not. No. Actually, I will
you
give you some,
cost
'cause you beat
both
the
of us
Packers.
a lot
You
of
ended the
money.
Packers season, so I'm going to give you some.
There you go.
But yes, that was. So did you tell him to go down? Who told him to go
It
down?
was we always are communicating. Jared echoed that probably in the huddle. I bet you Todd
Get
would
me
have
on
done
the
that.
headset next time.
All right, hey,
I was
so,
like, hey,
so
listen,
he
just
said
don't
we're
go
going bunch
down.
left, 19 truck. All right, hey, let's
Don't
make
go
sure
down.
that we understand this is a Rolex situation where
What's the Rolex?
time are they're more important than the points. So go down.
Rolex
fucking
situation.
sick.
And then
He's
let's
like,
that is
roll
pretty
it.
badass.
Situation.
Yeah.
Get the first down and go down.
That's awesome.
Mark it down there.
Are
So
you-
people just go down? The Rams go Rolex.
Rolex, baby.
Are you ever aware of the spread or the over under total and when you're going into a game?
No.
No
I bet.
coaches.
Do you think that I don't have good buddies that crush me on stuff like
Oh,
that?
yeah, of
too?
course, of
So
course.
I am not aware of that.
You got to
I'm
win the
just
game.
Correct.
Yeah, I understand that, but you got to understand from our
From my perspective,
we're
I
the-
was very mad at you.
we're the idiots
Hey,
sitting on the couch.
That's better than when I went to Vegas a couple weeks after the Super Bowl just to have some fun. First guy I run into says, "Hey man, you lost me $500,000
Oh, my
on the
God.
over." I said, "Oh man,
Oh,
I'm sorry."
Man,
That
I had
sucks.
that too. Whatever.
$500,000, yeah.
I've said a lot. I'm probably a wanted man for
Yes,
but
yes.
just
We
gotta live. You gotta move on.
Yeah, I blame Todd Gurley, not you. So you're good. All right,
No, you blame me.
Yeah, my last question, SeatGeek question, promo code TAKE, put it in, get $10 off. Go to a Rams game, promo code TAKE. Do you want to say that you guys are going back to the Super Bowl? To a guarantee?
no.
If you go back to Super Bowl, can we get tickets?
If we
In
go
your
back,
box.
hey, listen, I don't know if I can commit to that.
Private plane.
If we
You're asking for more?
$200
Let's go to Anchor.
cash
Art of the deal.
$200 cash.
deal. Okay.
Listen, we got a long way to go. All right.
You drive a hard bargain.
What's funny is that the art of the deal anchoring actually worked
yeah,
right there.
Yeah. We
See,
went from a private plane to
But
$200
no,
cash.
no, but you do realize I didn't even understand what you were doing right there.
Yeah.
You mind worked
Yes,
me.
Yeah.
yes. All right,
Absolutely.
back to the Super Bowl, $200 cash, done. All right, PFT, you got a last question?
Yeah, I do have one last question. So I heard that you got into it with Jaguars coach Doug Marrone not too long ago because you found out that he didn't hire you at Syracuse. Is that true?
No, that was that. So we were having fun with a bunch of coaches, and there was a chance that I was going to go work with him in a quality control role when he was the head coach at Syracuse. And he and Bill O'Brien are great friends. We got a bunch of guys around there, and I said, I you actually refused my resume. But in all actuality, I was very close to going and working with them if the United Football League opportunity didn't present itself. But it was much. Don't let the truth get in the way of a good story.
Right.
Right.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to go with the narrative that like you wanted to kick Marone's ass.
No.
So you could.
Yeah, you could.
I mean,
You're like the size of one
we
of his
swam with
legs.
him
Hey,
last year
listen,
in Grit Week.
I
boy.
agree with you.
Yeah, we
I'm
swam
not
in his
messing-
pool.
Coach Marone, I'm not messing with that.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
Is there any coach in the NFL whose ass you could kick?
Ooh.
No.
You just say Matt LaFleur.
I knew you were going to
Yeah,
go
just
that
do that.
direction.
Yeah, just say your buddy.
That'd be like you know what? I got nothing.
I
That's
think-
a good question right
I
there.
think you could beat
Yeah.
up Cliff. I think Cliff is fake hot. I
Yeah.
think he's not as hot as advertised. I think he's
wears
he's
sunglasses.
system hot.
He hides behind the sunglasses.
He's tall. He hides
I was
behind those
wearing the
sunglasses
yesterday
like a
at
real
practice.
coward.
I can't say anything.
Show him, Pifty. Let's wrap up. But show him the play you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So
see
there's
this.
one last thing. So we want to get a play in your playbook this year that has both Blake and Jared on the field at the same time because they're
Alright.
two best friends. And so I called this one. You know, you like to do these swaggy little names, cute little
Yeah,
names. for your
Rolex.
plays. This one's called Horses in the Back. Okay,
You know that.
Horses in the Back. Shout out Lil Nas X.
There you go.
So what it is, so you've got your lineup, your basic lineup, and then we're going to use Aaron Donald as a quarterback, right? So you snap directly to him. Then you've got Blake and you got Jared, and they both run out and they do like a little mesh route here.
Yeah.
And as they're doing that, Aaron Donald just has a fullback on which just barrels forward. So they're decoys. So Jared and Blake are decoys. And if you notice, there's only 10 people on the field right here, so you can even get out there yourself. You can be like a split end out to the side.
What do you think?
What do you think about that diagram?
I think that the fact that you never put the square in the middle with the center, I think that's
Right.
going to be the longest developing draw I've ever
Yes.
heard of in my
Yes.
life.
Right.
But
Yeah.
Aaron could get that. He could get you a couple yards.
Aaron, have you ever thought about using him as a fullback?
How long do you expect the boat and Jared to be able to, run these crossing routes?
Just like in
Crisp,
perpetuity. just
crisp. Yeah, they go
forth,
back and forth. It's like a game of pong.
Yeah.
If there's anybody that's going to be able to hold off a rush and wait in the backfield for those two to develop on a,
It's
on a
Aaron
mesh
Donald.
route, it's going to be AD.
Yes,
I like
absolutely.
that.
He can block for himself.
Okay, feel free to use, or at least just use the name Horses in
Yeah,
the Back.
yeah.
You probably already have a play called
Yes.
Horses in the Back, don't you?
I don't.
Okay.
No.
Use
Well, we
that
got to
one.
get one. All right, Coach McVay, thank you. Always a pleasure.
Enjoyed
Always fun. Appreciate you giving us some more time this time.
Hey, it
People
was-
love it.
it was
People
fun,
love you,
man.
They do.
Well,
even
hey.
though I might say some. What did I say?
I don't
say
even
something that
know.
means-
I
said
deserved
something-
it.
Yeah, I know.
I can't listen.
I mean,
Hey,
I
you got to
yeah.
produce.
Yeah, I'm a hot take guy. So in the
Honest.
moment, you were the worst coach I've ever seen coach a football game.
Well, you know what? I agree with you. Not going to deny it.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, guys.
Oh man.